Judges chapter 3. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to test Israel by them, even as many as Israel had not experienced all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might understand to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof, namely 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites that dwelled in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Behomon to the entering in Hamath, and they were to test Israel by them to know whether they would hearken to the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel dwelled among the Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their God, and served Balaam. And the groves, therefore, the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushing-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cushing-Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried to the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel, and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushing-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against Cushing-Rishathaim. And the land had rest 40 years, and Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And he gathered to him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. But when the children of Israel cried to the Lord raised them up a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present to Eglon, the king of Moab. But Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges of a cubit length, and he did fasten it under his cloak upon his right thigh. And he brought the present to Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bore the present, but he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand to you, O king, who said, leave us alone. And all that stood by him went out from him. And Ehud came to him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from God to you. And he rose out of his seat, and Ehud put forth his left hand, and took the dagger from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. And the hilt also went in after the blade, and the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly, and the dirt came out. Then Ehud went forth through the porch, and shut the doors of the parlor upon him, and locked them. When he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, surely he covers his feet in his summer chamber. And they tarried till they were ashamed. And behold, he opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took a key and opened them. And behold, their lord was fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they tarried, and passed beyond the quarries, and escaped to Sirath. And it came to pass, when he was come, that he blew a trumpet in the Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he led them. And he said to them, follow after me, for the Lord has delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him, and took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and allowed not a man to pass over. And they slew of Moab at that time about 10,000 men, all robust, and all men of valor. And there escaped not a man. So Moab was defeated that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. And after him was Samgar, the son of Anath, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox stick, and he also delivered Israel.